Back here, 12 pupils from Tamaho Primary School in Katlehong, Ekurhuleni remain in hospital. And these children were part of 110 learners who had complained about stomach cramps after allegedly eating samp at the school yesterday. Several cases of foodborne illnesses have been reported across the province recently, and the Gauteng Education Department says it is conducting investigations into these incidents. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholwana joins us now live. Zola, good morning. It's starting to seem as if every week there is a new incident of food poisoning related issues amongst learners across the country's schools. And it is quite concerning, and they take on different shapes and forms. Some of the children apparently consuming food outside school, some consuming food where they live at spaza shops, others consuming food right on school premises. Tell us more about what you've learned about this latest incident.
I mean, Iman, speaking about these cases growing every week, Ekurhuleni has reported the highest number of these, food poisoning cases. We understand that this year alone, there's been about 20 people that have died from alleged food poisoning, and over 300 cases that have been reported. And we know that recently, 2 siblings died from suspected food poisoning. So these cases are growing rapidly. And the scary thing now, from what we are told by parents, is that not so long ago they were told by the SGB to refrain from giving children money so that they buy snacks that are sold by vendors that usually sell outside the school, but should rather, eat here at school, as we understand that there's a feeding scheme or a nutritious program that, government schools offer to these children. But now the question, Iman, that comes at this present moment is that what happens when children allegedly fall ill from eating samp that is being served at school? Let's get the latest update from Gauteng Education spokesperson Steve Mabona. Steve, thank you very much for your time. Just give us, the latest update on the children that we understand were hospitalized, the 12.
No, thanks very much. We can actually confirm that all children are now discharged. Remember, when we issued a statement yesterday, we said 98 were discharged out of the 110. 12 were remaining in 2 medical facilities, and we can confirm that this morning the 12 were discharged.
I mean, parents are confused at this present moment, understanding that at some point they were told by the SGB to refrain from giving children money to buy from street vendors, but rather, eat food that's being provided at school through the nutritious program. But now when we're hearing that, children could potentially be poisoned from, samp that was served at school, where does this leave the parents?
No, any foodborne illness, you take the sample, you go test that food, and practitioners will then pronounce on what might have, the food had, or is there anything wrong with the food. And they will wait for that process. But we are here on the ground. We can hear some of the parents are saying no. Some of these children bought from the vendors that are in around our precinct. And sadly, the vendors are not even here today. So it gives you some element of information that you didn't have.
And the parents are gathering outside here today to essentially say that they don't want their children to be fed today until investigations are concluded. What are you saying as a department?
No, we assured the parents that the necessary testing continues, and we also inform them that the tests will then be presented to them, because they said they want to know what has happened. And look, it's only a few parents that are here. Honestly, it will be unfair to disadvantage all the parents that are not here, because this school, the recording in our records, we have over 1,200 learners here. And the parents that are here, they are less than 50. Not saying that their concerns are not taken serious. We did assure them, we spoke to them, we assured them. And we indicated that if they feel that they don't want their children to eat, then they need to indicate as such. And we will probably make sure that their children are not fed today, because this is it's not a yesterday's meal. It's a new meal that they are eating today. So hence we then decided to say, after assessing, let's then make sure that we don't disadvantage many children that come, depending on this meal.
Thank you very much, Steve Mabona, Gauteng Education spokesperson, confirming, Iman, that all children that were hospitalised have been discharged at this point. And he has mentioned that these parents that are gathered here, who have been saying since morning they don't want their children to eat from the school's nutritious program because of what happened yesterday. So he essentially says their voices are heard, but they are not enough to speak on behalf of every parent who has a learner in the school. So they have asked them to write a list of their children so that they are not given food until investigations are concluded, because that's what they want to see. I can tell you, Iman, that there's a lot of allegations that we are hearing on the ground. Some are even alleging that this could have been caused by snacks that were bought by these children from street vendors who are not present today. But of course, the Department of Education is currently conducting investigations, and we will then find out what could have caused, the reaction that we saw from the children throughout videos that were circulating on social media. Back to you in studio.
Yeah, one can really empathize with the anxiety and the concern of parents.